Welcome to Florida Beer Company here in sunny Cape Canaveral, Florida. Today we're going to be taking you on our brewery tour, so let's go inside and check some things out. Hey guys, we're here in the brewery at Florida Beer Company. Before we get started, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the history of the place. In 1997, we started as Indian River Brewing. In 2003, the company went under new ownership. In 2003 and 2005, we acquired other breweries, which became Florida Beer Company. In 2013, we moved from Melbourne location to the Cape Canaveral location. And this is an 11,000 square foot building, which in the 60s used to be the Chrysler Missile Assembly building where they would build rockets. It was also a housing facility for some of the cars used in Transformers movies. Time to start the tour, let's head this way. Alright guys, now we're going to be talking about the malt. The larger tanks hold the base malt, which is the basic property of the beer. The weigh hopper to the right weighs the malt in each recipe. And over to the right here we have the grain mill, which breaks open the malt to expose the starches. From the malt, we now get to the actual brewing process. The left tank, which is the mash tun, fills milled malt, add the water as the second ingredient, then heat the mixture to make the wort. Then it goes to the middle tank, which is the lauter tun, which strains the wort from the spent grains. After that, it goes back to the left tank, which is now called the brew kettle, and this boils the wort as we add the hops to balance the sweetness of the malt with the bitterness of the hops. From there, the left tank, it goes to the right tank, which is now the whirlpool of the hopped wort. This causes the solids and the liquid to clump, which makes it easier to strain. Next, we're going to the fermentation process. The hopped wort is pumped with the yeast, and the yeast becomes an ale yeast or a lager yeast. Ales ferment for shorter times, warmer temperatures, and eat sugars from the top of the tank. Lagers ferment for longer times, colder temperatures, and eat sugars from the bottom. When fermentation is done, we lower the temperature and the yeast falls to the bottom of the tank. The cone shape helps accumulate yeast to filter out of the tank. The yeast is then sent to the lab to determine if it can be reused or not. After fermentation, it's sent to the centrifuge, which is basically a giant separation unit. When the beer is still cloudy, not all the yeast has been filtered out, so it's sent here. And the cone in the back spins at 4,900 RPMs, which separates the yeast. Next is the filtration system. Beer is forced through these plates, which the leftover sediment is filtered as beer passes through. This may take multiple passes to clarify completely. After filtration, the liquid is sent to the bright beer tanks where we force carbonate the beer with CO2. Our tanks can hold 50 to 190 barrels at one time. After the beer is carbonated, it's then sent to the flash pasteurizer. This raises the temperature to 160, then drops it to 32 in 10 seconds. This quick temperature change kills off any microbes that are found within the beer. This helps prevent bottle fermentation if the yeast is still present. It takes about an hour to run a full batch through the pasteurizer.